now it's time to get to work. Next up, I will be installing, there's a hole right there if you can see it, 2 holes. I'll be installing the bracket that I smashed my finger on yesterday, which holds up this massive WVO Designs vegetable oil pump.
It's the same old sound in the same old town. I wake up early with a sigh.
Dad, you want to explain what's going on right now?
We're going for a coffee at Timmy's. Oh, sorry. Yeah, this is what we're doing. This is the return line, right? Going down to the tank. This goes straight from here to the tank. Now, the problem is, well, it's not really a problem. It's after he purges it, the oil will be going down here. So what I'm thinking of, I know you find that hard to believe, what I'm thinking is I'm going to put this line with the water lines so when it returns, it heats it up.
Heats up the tank.
Stupid idea.
I like that.
Heats up the tank.
I like that. Now,
It's just an idea.
if I had the Webasto running and I had the pump on but the engine off,
Everything's going to get warm.
it would warm the tank by circulating the fuel.
Pretty much, yeah.
Holy crap. We got a genius on hand here. Also, somebody asked where the flux capacitor was. Where is the flux capacitor?
That was a good question. I love that. That was a good one. Because I love Back to the Future. I think that's friggin' hilarious. But yeah, that was a good one. I like that one.
Alright, this is the last part of the vegetable oil conversion, besides filling up the tank with vegetable oil. This is the fuel lines going from the fuel pump to the engine, basically. We're in the final stretch.
This is the final stretch. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da.
So the anticipation has been building for a very, very long time. We are both very excited to get this thing running on French fried juice. Guys, we ran into a very serious issue. We were short 2 fittings. So that means we're gonna have to finish it tomorrow. Unless Badge can work a miracle and pull out a trick out of a rabbit's hat here. Guys, great news. Badge had an extra fitting in his bag of tricks. So we're gonna try and get this smaller hose hooked up to the engine. Great news, guys. We got it all hooked up here. This was the last part of the vegetable oil lines. Right now, Badge is taping up the fuel lines to the coolant lines. If anybody's just tuning in, that is to keep the fuel lines, the fuel being the vegetable oil, nice and toasty. And Badge is also gonna make some baked potatoes.
Your Walmart tin foil.
You gonna make baked potatoes, Badge? What are you?
We're making. Yeah, we're gonna make French fries.
Oh yeah. Why don't you tell the class?
French fries.
Why don't you tell the class your recipe?
French fries, because we're gonna wrap these lines to keep all the heat in here, right? I think we're gonna get it too hot, but we'll see. We can always take it off, right?
There you go.
And this is just tin foil. This is Billy's trick.
That's Nut Bar.
Brother Billy.
Brother Billy.
This is his trick, and it works.
So this is the equivalent of wrapping wrapping your presents with a gift wrap, because this is the gift that's going to keep on giving.
Like so.
This is a heavy-duty, high-tech, really expensive aluminum foil, right?
Yeah.
From Walmart.
The $2 Walmart stuff.
So it doesn't have to be the most expensive stuff.
It just it keeps all that heat in there.
Yeah.
The only problem, like I told Jack, is he has to check his hoses to make sure they don't dry out, which they probably will.
Yeah.
Because they're going to dry out that rubber hose.
They're going to get real hot.
It's going to make it really, really hot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We're just going to put the rest of the tinfoil on, wrap it with some of this tinfoil tape, and then we'll check right back in with you.
Remember?
All right, ducting tape.
Duct tape. This is duct tape. This is
Not
the
quack
real
quack.
McCoy.
This is
This is the real
DUCT.
McCoy duct tape.
That's right.
Here, wrap them hoses up there.
Okay. Now,
What's he doing?
if you guys come to Jamie's van build, which is Enigmatic
Don't tell him
Nomadics,
There's rumors. Don't tell him rumors.
it is a place where people help each other out.
Don't tell him rumors, Jack.
Nobody charges for stuff, but if you need something done with your RV or van or you know, like mobile nomad vehicle,
Tell him lies, Jack. Tell him lies.
come on out. It's going to be
Tell him
over
lies.
by
Jack, don't lie to him.
Havasu/Parker. And if Badge here fixes something on your rig, make sure you say thank you with a very useful way. Now, this was a thank you from someone,
Bob.
from Bob. He did a bunch of work on his thing, and he got him a 480-piece terminal assortment. He's probably used half of them. And he's got insulated wire connectors, and these are shrink tubes, electrical stuff. So if you need something done, come on out.
You're not allowed to work in the United
And
States.
he's not allowed to work and collect money,
No.
but if he volunteers, you could,
I can
you know,
volunteer all I want.
he could volunteer, you guys could volunteer something nice in exchange. Something useful that mechanics
just for
use.
Bob up, and just so you know, because remember, Bob, I give you a hard time over that, and I said I didn't need him, I'd never use him.
Yep.
I just about got him empty now.
He's used quite a few, and several of them are on my bus here. Now I'm gonna get to work. I'm gonna wrap more of this heater hose in tinfoil. I finished wrapping this in tinfoil in duct DUCT, not quack quack tape. Goes all the way down there. Not the whole entire thing is insulated with aluminum foil and duct tape, but you get the idea. Now Badge ran a wire through here. What's going on?
So remember, it seems like a month ago, but it wasn't. But remember a little while ago, I told you this is the pump relay.
Yep.
This is running both. This is running the diesel pump and the veggie pump. When it's normally closed, which is no power to it, it's going to run the veggie pump. And when it's on, it runs the diesel pump. So remember I put this wire in here?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
This wire right here, this one. This one here?
Yep.
Okay, so I take that off now, and I plug in the veggie pump into that one, 87A.
Yep.
Okay?
Now,
And then I take the ground and I put up to here. That's how we're charging, that's how we're running the veggie pump.
all right. So Badge, you want to explain what you did here with the terminals and connections?
I cleaned them.
All right. There you have it,
So-
folks.
What you have to use is a wire brush like this to clean them. Now, you have to get it down to the iron, like here. So what we did was we put a grinder on that and grind it. And grind all the corrosion off. These got to be all clean, spotless. So,
All right. You guys ever used one of these things before? Well, that was my first time. I didn't do the best job, but inside there, that's where the vegetable oil goes. So I'm just gonna have a little sneak hole right over to the tank. All right, you guys know what's going on? You should by now. I am not having a deep fry fish Friday. We're gonna try and fill up this tank. That is the hole that I made. I am not sure that is gonna work, but we're gonna try it. If it doesn't work, we'll do a square. I was kindly gifted by Badge, this very nice 12-volt pump.
it's going to cost you an arm and leg.
I know.
Just saying.
So I got this brand new pump. That nozzle looks a little bit too short for that hole.
Brand new.
Brand new. Got a brand new pump in the motor right here.
Okay, I'm going to show you how to do this.
Okay. And he's got an idea.
Just take the thing off there and just stick the hose right in the tank. Now, that nozzle should be long enough. We're going to explain the fuel system to you. 2 tanks, right? 130 gallons. And this one here is what?
65.
65. Okay. It comes from here,
Diesel.
diesel to a pump, right? Waste veggie oil pump, right? It's set at 35 psi. Okay, it comes out of the pump and goes up to the side of the frame was the filter. This is the original filter on the truck. Comes up to here. From here, we got the waste vegetable Y, right? Two of them.
The solenoids.
Yeah. We're not going to show you the solenoids, we're just going to show you where they go, right?
And that, in plain English, is just an electronic valve.
Yeah. So, what the diesel do is, comes up this way. We got to Y this one, okay, and then that one Y's, yeah. Okay. So then, no, they both go the same way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Okay, so then it comes off here from the fuel filter up to the
Delivery.
normally closed side. And then this one here is a return on the normally closed side and goes back to the fuel tank, right? And that's your diesel side. Okay, now this one here goes up and it feeds the head here and here. You got to return here and here. So these go, we don't need one here. These go into here, right? The returns go into here and the feeds go into there. I know it looks confusing, but it's not. So you got two heads, right? Both heads are exactly the same. You can take the left head, put it on the right, right and left. Okay? So the front, you got the front is on this one here, the front is the return. On this one, this is, so we put return here.
And the reason is, guys, let me show you guys something.
And
Where my index finger is, right? Watch what happens when you switch an identical head to the opposite side.
It works exactly the
Like
same.
that. So that's how they're identical the same. That's why they have plugs on both sides, so they can manufacture one head and use it on both sides.
And on the international, that's why I still say to this day, until the day I die, that nobody's ever done it, because they call this a deadhead system. What a deadhead system is the fuel comes up through here without the Y. It just uses the fuel, and it comes through the fuel lines and goes into the head. There's no return. The return went back on the filter housing. Remember we took off? That one on the side I showed you with the little hole in it? That's why. The fuel goes into the head and that's it. It doesn't go nowhere. Now, when the fuel goes in the head now, it goes in the head and out the return. So, you're right. All the 7.3 guys are clapping because now you don't have a priming problem. Turn the pump on, it goes in the line, up here, into the head, down the head, and out the return. Which you can't do that. And the 7.3 guys will tell you, it's a pain to bleed these things. Okay, so you got the diesel.
Yes.
Out of the tank, into the pump, from the pump to the filter, from the filter up to the solenoid valve, and this is diesel, so it goes into the head, through the head and out the return, and comes back to the tank. That's how the diesel works. Now, the veggie works exactly the same way, exactly, except we added heat and we taped it up and we got a different filter on it. So this is how the veggie goes.
And by the way, the waste vegetable system, or the straight vegetable oil system, essentially you are creating two systems in parallel, two identical systems.
Exactly. There is not a thing different, except we put heat to the oil, to the waste veggie oil. You cannot heat diesel. Just remember that. You cannot heat diesel. We have no heat going on the lines, going to the head or the return lines on the diesel side. None whatsoever. It's all before the heads. Okay, so we got the tank here, and it feeds into a Davco,
which is a water remover and
one of the
oil
best fuel
and
filters on
fuel
the planet.
filters.
And then it goes from here to the veggie pump, from the veggie pump. I gotta think how this goes.
It goes into the plate exchanger, the heater.
Comes up here, and we have a plate exchanger, which has 2 ports here and 2 ports here. Okay, so this goes up to that side there, and then this side comes down and goes into this valve, right? On the normally open side. Okay, so that's the fuel. Comes in from the tank to the Davco. Now the Davco is always on the vacuum side. You never put it on a pressure side. Comes into the waste veggie pump.
Which is a WVO Designs.
Yeah, and then, which is a W design. It's made for oil, so we'll see. It comes from the pump, goes in the pump, out the pump, comes over here to the plate exchanger. From the plate exchanger, it goes into this Y. Okay, now the return system, I'm going to make a big long line, but it's not that long. It comes up here on the normally open side. So you don't need no power on the solenoids to run the system on veggie oil. Now the reason for that, and the only reason for that, is that the solenoids get warm when you're using power. So why would we, the longest one that we figure we're running on is the one that we're going to use normally open, which is going to be veggie. Because I don't think this thing's going to run on very little diesel.
So by default, which means by default, this is we are designing it to run on diesel. So we're just going to have to push some buttons to turn the diesel on and turn it off to run it on oil.
Yeah. So the return on the oil, you turn the switches off, the diesel switches off. There's no switches to control the, there is no switches to control the veggie oil pump. It's either the veggie oil pump works or the diesel pump works, one or the other. And he knows how to get around that if he has an issue. Okay, and we come out the return side, on the normally open side, we have no key powered, okay? So the fuels, the veggie's coming in here to the pump, or to the Davco, from the Davco to the waste oil pump, or from the waste oil pump. From there, it goes over the 32 blade heat exchanger. From the heat exchanger, it comes here. Now this hose here is only like 8 inches. So, and then it goes into the head, here and here, the same as diesel, and it comes out the return the same as a diesel. Now the reason for that is because nobody could tell me if they could purge this deadhead system. Nobody. They said, oh well, you just switch the switches and it purges. Yeah, but can you guarantee me all the veggie oil out? No, you can't. On a deadhead system, you cannot guarantee that you got all the veggie oil out. On our system, you can, because the diesel will come in here to purge it and push the veggie right down the return line.
Essentially, it's a recirculating system.
Totally. So then we come back here, and this is a long line. This does no.
It's a lot shorter in the engine, yeah.
And then it goes back to the fuel tank and starts all over again, right? Now this here system doesn't return a whole bunch of fuel because we got the pump set at 35 psi, which means that it'll constantly feed 35 psi. So not a whole bunch is going to be returned, not like normal diesel. Okay? Now, the difference between, you're going to say, yes, this is the same as that. The only difference is we got a plate exchanger in here and a little different fuel filter. But it's exactly the same as a diesel system. Except all the hoses with X's on them, right, are heated.
We
wrapped in heater hoses.
Yep, we
right. They're all wrapped in heater hoses and tape.
Wrapped in tinfoil, just like a potato on the barbecue.
Yeah, and you've seen pictures of that. And this one here is wrapped the whole way too, almost. Yep. Darn near all the way.
And also, guys, the purpose of this is to heat
the fuel.
I'll
tell you about that.
And also, this is heated too, which is everything's heated by the coolant.
Yeah, this has got. I'll show you the Webasto in a little short circuit, okay? But that's how the fuel system is. Now the difference between this one here and this one here is a plate heater and a different filter. The system is exactly the same. Exactly. The diesel and the veggie oil are exactly the same. So, I know a couple guys, I got some names in the back of my head, you know, like Z-Man saying, well, you can probably take this tank here and fill it with diesel, with vegetable oil. Very good, you kid. as long as you heat that line. As long as you heat that line up and get it up, you could do it. But we wanted 2 systems. Now, you got to remember there's a whole bunch of ways to skin a cat, and a Canadian drag racer will find them. And you just got to remember that when we started this out, it was, I want 2 systems, one for veggie and one for diesel. Not a blend or something cheaper. This is what I want. So that's what he got. Exactly. 2 complete systems.
And
Totally.
for some reason, if something goes wrong on the vegetable oil side, guess what, guys? A flip of a switch, I'm running on diesel. And vice versa, right? Yeah. Sometimes you'll have an issue with something somewhere along the line, and with the press of a button, I can, you know, change over to that. That's what having a dual system is all about. Is it arts and crafts time? What are you drawing there, Badge?
Arts and crafts time.
What are you drawing?
I'm going to show you.
The anticipation is killing us.
Okay, so cool. Okay, now this is out of context. Believe me, it's not. It's hard to. We showed you all the stuff on the truck, but this isn't how it's laid out in the truck. I'm just showing you how it works. And this is the 28 plate heat exchanger. Now, these 2 lines here are these 2 right here. So, this is what we got here. You got an in, and you got an out of the Webasto. And this
Webasto, for everyone's recollection, is a diesel-powered fuel, or actually diesel-powered coolant heater.
Yeah. So what we do is we come from the heater to the Webasto. From the Webasto, we come out, and we go to the 32 plate. From the 32 plate, we go to the Davco. Yes, the Davco has got a heating element in it.
It also has an electric heating element to it.
Yeah, if you want to plug it in, but we probably won't use that.
Yeah, we're just hooked to the coolant.
From the Davco, it comes back to the engine. This is the circuit. Okay, remember, we got a valve.
That's a coolant system.
We got a valve, and we got a valve, right? So, or sorry, these 2, he got the valve is here. Sorry, this valve is there. Okay.
You're good.
So the engine, the heating goes through here, through the heater, comes down through the heater to the Davco, from the Davco to the 32 plate, back to the Webasto, but the Webasto goes back to the bottom of the motor. And then now, if it's really super hot out, like he says he's not going to go there, so we'll see. If it's super hot out, you turn the taps off, right? This one off, and open the bypass. And what it does is makes the water come down here and like that and bypass the heaters. I know, ingenious, isn't it? Totally ingenious. So that's how the fuel system. Both systems are exactly the same. This one's got heated fuel lines, this one don't. This one's got a Davco, this one's got a fuel filter. And this one's got a plate exchanger, and this one don't. Because you never heat diesel, but you heat engine oil, or waste vegetable oil.
By the way, I want to thank Provincial Powertrain Eeyore for the Davco. I salvaged that off a truck.
He saved us he saved us a ton of money. Like, you could never thank Igor for what he done, because he'd give you the tanks.
He was a couple $1,000 easy.
Yeah, easily. So, oh yeah, we should put that here.
That's right. The fuel system, sponsored by Provincial Powertrain, for all your heavy-duty truck.
And he's got a 1-800 number. I'm not sure what it is. You can buy parts from him all over, because he ships better than
dude, he rebuilds diesel engines and transmissions that are worth.
He's one of the best automatic transmission guys in probably North America, bar none. Okay, so that's the fuel system. Now we go over here and see how close we were. Okay, so remember this picture here I showed you about a week ago, or 2 weeks ago. So we basically got this system, except we don't have this now. We got the fuel filter, and we put
That's supposed to be the tank with a heater in and out. I forgot to request that. So
the heat exchanger in here. That's about all. Yep. But other than that, it's all basically the same as that.
Are you ready to fire this thing up on veggie?
As soon as somebody gets the veggie oil in it.
Let's check this out.
Look at that. That's sucking that baby down.
Oh man, it sure is. We are now pumping oil into the fuel tank. This is absolutely crazy. I can't believe we're gonna try and run a vehicle on cooking oil. It just sounds completely ridiculous.
I think I just wasted 2 months. Of course I know it's gonna run on.
No, I know, but it just seems like so ridiculous, right? Like, why would you do this? But it works. So, well, we gotta fire it up and then we can say it works.
Well, what is ridiculous is when you go to the bar and think you're gonna pick up the best looking girl there. That's ridiculous.
Well, to tell you the truth, I'd rather go to the bar and pick up 100 gallons of oil than the best looking chick. It'll get me a lot further in life. This is the
leftovers.
this is the pantyhose method, and I'm thinking I should have got like 10 pairs of pantyhose because this thing is clogging up pretty well here.
I need a pail.
I know.
Okay.
All right, this is the pantyhose filtered oil. Badge flipped the switch. We are now sucking this very, very dark coffee-colored oil into the fuel tank over here. You know, Badge, can I borrow a pair of your pantyhose, bro? We might need some more.
Just remember who went to the store to get them, okay?
Yeah, that's me.
That wasn't me.
The common ground. Just leave me be, don't ask me why.
We've been idling on diesel. We poured about 50 plus gallons of dirty oil over. Now, for the first time, Badge switched over to vegetable oil. Although we still have vegetable oils in the line, he's keeping an eye on the pressure regulator. I don't know when it's gonna start burning veggie oil, but it should here pretty soon. How's the pressure? You gonna adjust the pump? This is exciting news, guys. I have a feeling this is going to be a very long vlog. So thank you guys for sticking around if you guys watched from the beginning. Badge is checking out the pressure. The oil pump is on. I think he's trying to prime it. I could be wrong. I'm definitely not a mechanic, but I've been picking up on things. Is the Davco filling up with oil? We're troubleshooting. Key is off. We're on diesel here.
Pump on diesel.
Yeah. Badge, you want to explain what we're doing briefly?
What we're doing is you got to get it. The veggie line's empty, so we got to get it from the tank, which has got thick veggie oil in it, to the pump, to the filter, and it's sucking on the vacuum side, so it's got to suck all that air out of it, right? So instead of screwing up the $500 veggie pump, you prime the filter with diesel.
Basically, you fill the pump with diesel.
And you get it, right?
All right. So there is a pump inside here, and Badge is just pouring it inside of the filter.
Okay.
How he knows all this stuff, I will never know. Are you guys ready for this? I don't even know if I'm ready for this. Badge, are you ready for this?
Always ready for it.
Okay. Now, right now, diesel.
Switch at the same time.
Diesel is on. Veggie is now on. Cross your fingers, folks. It's still running. There could be still fuel in the system. We do not know if this is going to work right now. Rev it up. He's got his hands up. I don't know what that means. I mean, I think it's working. Go smell it. It actually sounds like the engine is more lubricated right now. I could be wrong. It does have a slightly different sound to the engine. I just got my foot on the gas.
No, I agree.
Give me a hug, bro. Yeah, we fucking did it.
I am the smartest guy around.
Yeah. The vegetable oil system is running. Let's get our first whiff. Well, right now it's a mix. So I think the fuel is still kind of mixing through. It does smell like falafels. We did get it from a pizza place that has falafel. Oh yeah, I get that nice odor. So I think we're up and running. Let's take a look at the filter. This is the color of the fuel right now, okay? That's the oil. Let's take a look at the filter. That's the fuel filter. You can't really tell what color the fuel is going through. It's very hot. Yeah. So, I think we did it. I was expecting, honestly, more of a French fry smell. So, oh yeah. Let's stand back a bit. Yeah, that's not diesel fuel. That, my friends, that's some French fries. My bus has a high idle feature. So you turn that on, and turn that down, where it says throttle, right? So that'll rev up the engine. We got 1,500 RPMs. I just want to do that so we can push out some of the fuel. See what kind of odor we're getting back here. Oh, yeah, that's that's definitely veggie oil. That is such a nut.
Now it's just them too, Michael?
No, add to your story. There you go. Badge adds a story. By the way, anybody wants to follow Badge on Instagram, it's vlightrving, same as YouTube. Dude, you did it. High five, man. That's fucking awesome.
Even with the Canadian Postal Service, we did it.
Canadian. I hate Canadian UPS, man.
The thing about
worse
this
than mosquitoes.
You know, there's a couple guys that have been texting me back and forth, like, what's his name? Z-Max. This is so friggin' simple, Z. You won't believe it. It's just so simple. There's no information around. And I don't know why everybody don't do it. Probably because they don't want to go get the oil. Yeah. But look at it, the thing runs as clean as a whistle. Hey, you can't even tell.
Badge, you know, honestly, I swear, right when we switched over, you'll hear a difference in the engine. Yeah. It sounds a little bit different, and it sounds crazy. Yes, it does sound quieter. It sounds more lubricated. So that's what you. Cool. That's how we oil up or fuel up, huh? Man, I forget how many jugs here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They weren't all the way full, so we'll just call it like
90 gallons.
45, yeah, 45 gallons, something like that. So, anyways, we'll pick up 10 more tomorrow. This is nuts. That's really strong. I'm gonna turn the idle down. Hey, come on inside and listen to the idle.
It smells like chicken back here.
All right, Badge, do the honors. The maiden voyage.
This is on
Badge, everybody. All right, it's on automatic, so just do the close thing. There we go.
Look at that, the door even works. Look at that.
Everything works.
Make sure everything's still attached.
Oh yeah, I got the wood off the roof. I got
You got the wood off?
Yeah.
Let's try this. Come on, try this. Okay. Oops, let's reverse it all.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's try this. 1,500 diesel.
Yep. Yeah, so he's purging it to diesel. Or running on diesel.
Yeah, we're back to veggie.
I swear it sounds.
Oh, Michael's calling.
I swear it sounds better when it's running on veggie.
I knew you'd call. I knew you would call, Michael. The thing survives. It runs. It runs. It runs better on veggie than it does on diesel. We're just going for our first maiden voyage. Yeah, look at this thing. Oh, it runs like a top, man. And guess what? It smells like fried chicken in the back. Fried chicken. Yes.
It's true, it does.
It runs really good. Well, the only thing we had was a problem picking up fuel, but I knew that. So we purged it and it worked just fine. No, it works good.
After so much anticipation and so much desire, want, and need, which brought me up here to Canada with Badge, all the delays, all the forgotten parts, all the trouble that we went through, all the sweat, all the money, all the delays, We're finally, for the first time, running on vegetable oil, and it's almost a surreal feeling because there's so much energy that went into this moment right now. It's kind of like, it's almost like I can't really believe what's happening right now. But it feels good. And I couldn't have done it without you.
Well, you could have done it without me. You were just a little slower, that's all. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. And it feels good.
I'm thinking it was a good deal all the way around. Now he's going to bail on me now and go to Colorado. But that's all right. Because as you notice, Michael's got a little bit of work. You see?
Yeah, we both got a lot of work here.
You know, on the hindsight though, there's a lot been done to this baby. Even with all the screw-ups, it did turn out pretty good. I gotta admit it.
Yeah, it looks good. It's fun.
Oh yeah.
And this, I mean, we haven't even started on the inside yet, so. Yeah.
He's got a couple of pet peeves, you know that, eh? Yes. Sardines.
This thing's got some juice, man.
They're smoking.
I know.
You know the funny part about it is it smells like chicken, fried chicken, because that's what they use the oil for. But it runs so good.
It actually runs better.
I think so.
I think so too.
Got a lot more pep.
Yeah. Yeah. And the engine is a little bit
And
quieter.
we still got the oil at 40. We still got enough pressure at 40.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna go and get a Coca-Cola at the Buck Creek store.
Yeah, I'm thirsty.
Is what